Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, empowering blind and visually impaired Idahoans to achieve self-fulfillment by providing quality vocational rehabilitation and independent living services since 1967. Adjusting to visual changes.
Hi, my name is Sherry and I'm here today with DeeAnn to talk about vision loss. DeeAnn, how did you lose your sight?
I have a genetic eye condition called fever, and fever is the acronym because it's a really long name. Fever is a genetic eye condition that I was born with. I inherited it from one of my parents, but I don't know which one. Normally fever is rampant in the family. Whoever gave it to the person usually gives it to the whole family. But I am the only child with it out of 8 children. So we don't know which parent gave it to me. I also have secondary glaucoma from all the surgeries that I've had in the past.
And how long have you been blind?
I went through several different vision loss phases. At the age of 6, I went completely blind in my left eye. I functioned pretty normal and my family kind of treated me pretty normal. Growing up, I competed in gymnastics, drove a car till I was 30, then I lost enough vision that I had to give up my driver's license. And then about at the age of 40, I lost some more vision, and that's when I feel like I really had to adjust.
And how long do you think that it took you to get through the grief for the loss process of losing your vision?
I would say really a year or so. I was that person that didn't really want to admit it or act like I had it, so I just tried to keep up. Every once in a while, I feel like I revisit that, but for the most part, I've adjusted and I feel like this is my life now, and I live a pretty rich life and I enjoy my life, and I don't feel like it affects me as much as it used to, but I do visit it every once in a while.
What was the hardest thing for you to adapt to?
2 things. Driving, when I lost my driver's license and had to stop driving, and then also eating. Eating was really hard for me. Going back to the driving, I had a cute little silver Cougar that I used to drive, and I had to give that up. That was kind of hard. I really didn't like to drive. I just really enjoyed getting myself from point A to point B. But I had to figure out ways around that, and I feel like I've kind of arrived at that where I don't really need to drive anymore. I found different modes of transportation and getting myself from point A to point B. And eating was a little bit of adaptation for me. I had to figure out different ways of eating, and because I couldn't see my food anymore, so that one was really hard for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. You obviously have family, and how did that affect them when you started really losing your sight?
I have one daughter, and at the time, my husband really had a hard time with it. He wasn't sure he wanted to be married to someone who had vision loss, and that it kind of ended our marriage. But my daughter, she's really good. We just have to, she learned really fast to put things back where they go. I mean, if we have a place for the bread and a place I put my toothbrush and a place I put my toothpaste. And so she's adapted that way. She's very good at putting things back where they go. Everything has a place. I mentioned earlier that I have 7 siblings, and sometimes when I still get around them, they still kind of act a little funny. They've adapted. Every once in a while they'll grab me and try to guide me or drag me, and I've been trying to teach them slowly that, you know, that I'm an independent person and they don't need to grab me or touch me, and verbal commands are a must because I don't know which way is over there.
That elusive land over there.
Yes.
What mobility devices are you using, and what was the adjustment process of using them like?
I use a white cane. I In my mid-30s, I learned to use a white cane when I had some more vision. I felt like it was, back then it was kind of a fun game, just learning how to use the cane and getting around town with shades on when I was learning. And then when it got to be where I really needed to use it, I was going to school and around campus, I would keep it in my backpack, and when I felt like I was lost or I needed to find my way or felt a little nervous, I'd whip it out and I'd start to use it. I lost a couple canes that way. I'd stick them in the corner. And then as I've lost more vision, I use it all the time, and it's just became part of me, and I use it every day, and I'm so grateful that I have that mobility skill and I'm able to use my cane, because it's a really helpful tool. I remember shopping with my daughter and my sister, and they'd walk away when I'd hang on to them and I couldn't see, and I'd kind of have this panic mode, like, oh no, what is happening? How am I going to find them?
Yeah.
What if I touch something I'm not supposed to? And when I have my cane on me, that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, you're more confident.
Mm-hmm.
What technology device or devices do you use a lot?
I do use an iPhone, and I use VoiceOver. VoiceOver is the screen reader that Apple has installed in their devices. At work, I use Windows 10 computer with JAWS. JAWS is a screen reader. I can completely control my computer without the keyboard. With the keyboard, excuse me. And I don't need a screen at all. I also really love the Apple TV that we use at home, and it has Siri in it. At home, I also use a grill I just bought that I can control from my phone. So it's been a really great tool for me to have a phone and use it that way.
That's neat. They have a lot of new devices coming out.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about being blind, and is it different today than when you first lost your sight? Have your feelings changed about it?
Well, like I said, when I first lost my sight, I tried to go about my everyday life like I did before, and I just tried to adapt in my head and learn myself. Back then, I kind of was in a panic mode, like, oh no, what if I lose more vision? And it would kind of make me crazy to think about it. I just kind of would feel like, oh no, what if I lose more vision? But then I kept losing more vision, and I kept trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get these tasks done every day that I need to get done? And I still seem to be able to get dressed and do my laundry and do everything that I would normally do without my vision. So I've really adapted. It's just a matter of thinking outside the box. How am I going to get this done? And I seem to always make it work. Before, like I said, it kind of made me crazy, and I've kind of arrived at the place where I'm comfortable with it, and it's just part of my everyday life, and I've accepted it, and I feel fine about it. I don't feel like it even is a disability for me.
We hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. For more information, please visit our website at www.icbvi.idaho.gov or call us at 208-334-3220.